Hey there, and welcome to the podcast Tiling Connect, hosted by Mark Moskwa. This show is designed to connect people with the best information intended to strengthen the business of tiling. To keep up to date with all the episodes, don't forget to subscribe.
Today's episode is brought to you by RLA Polymers and Gripset. For peace of mind when waterproofing, trust Gripset's 38FC, the king of membranes. 38FC has been the industry benchmark for years and is rigorously tested internally and through certified NADA laboratories, giving you verified peace of mind. Developed alongside contractors, 38FC has confirmed coverage of 10 square metres per pale and adheres to AS 4858 and AS 4654 compliance. With a quick 1 hour recode time, you can get the job done in record speed without compromising on quality. Don't fall for the copycat products. Trust Gripset's 38FC, the king of membranes. Hey everybody, Mark here from Tiling Connect. Welcome back to the program. More importantly, welcome back to another episode. We're very excited and privileged to have another amazing guest join us on the show today. I have all the way from Italy, a gentleman by the name of Jacopo Strocchi from Battipav. And Battipav is a massive company that is a global powerhouse when it comes to tiling tools and equipment. And I will not steal Jacopo's thunder. I will allow him and welcome him to introduce himself and say hello.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you for the invitation. It's a privilege for me to be here, to represent my company and to talk with you, to have the possibility to share ideas and to explain to the people our company and how we work and what's our product. And because it's very important for us to promote, and thank you for giving us the possibility to do that for the people that I think not only in Australian market following you, but even outside. So thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you again in Cersaia, in Bologna Fair. And I hope to see you again and we will be there, obviously.
Nice.
And regarding me, I'm starting working in Battipav 5 years ago. Then I met Stefano, the owner of Battipav, and we decided to join our way together. Introduce me the company, explain me his idea and what's the sector, because for me it was quite new, the ceramic sector. So everything started in this way. Battipav now is a worldwide company. We sell in over the 94 countries in the world, actually. We have a lot of products that we can say it's mandatory product for the tilers. And we are really proud of what we are doing because a lot of our products most of the part of our products come from our factory, produced in Italy. And so it's something that we are really proud of. That makes the difference for us in the market.
Wow, amazing. Now, can you take us back to the beginning? Like, how did the company start? And clearly there was a problem that was identified that Battipav was looking to solve. What was that for tilers?
The company born more than 40 years ago. It's a story of a man that he decided to do products for the tilers, okay? It starts like the story that begins in a garage. This is a family company developed by a family starting from zero. In more than 40 years now, we have 5 buildings, we have €1 million turnover. So it's something that really began in a garage, we can say like that. The idea the beginning was to give solution for the people that used to work in the tiling sector. At the beginning with a model of manual cutter, with the production of submersible pump, and with electric machine. At the beginning, 40 years ago, that didn't exist the saw with the bridge that you can see now in the market and are the most popular actually. At the beginning, there were a machine where a blade was inside the water and the tiler, they have just to move the tile to make the cut. This was the real beginning of the company. The company also developed a machine for cleaning the floor, a brushing machine. And developing some accessory for grouting. This is where everything starts. We had at the beginning also accessories for cleaning and accessory. We had a machine for making hole. So it was, and it is actually a very small market, but it's very, very important to be helpful for a tiler because they need a lot of things in their job. And at the beginning, it was just to make support this kind of tilers, and with a range of machines that develop a lot during the year and make us where we are now. Now the company is with the second generation, we can say, because Stefano, the son of Mr. Claudio, is the founder of the company, is in charge for everything now. So second generation is very, very good to work for a family company because you know where everything starts, you know what you are doing and where we are going. So really, really proud, and it's a very good company, actually.
Excellent. And it really is humbling to see, and I imagine work with companies that have that sort of heritage dating back 40 years that have grown from strength to strength year on year, developing and creating tiling tools and products for such a wide marketplace. I mean, to be in so many different countries and have a global powerhouse brand, and it's just incredible, right?
Yeah, very true. It's thinking when and in the way that it started and where we are now. There are many of this kind of history in the world, and be part of one of this history is make me proud, honestly.
Well, look, let's talk. I mean, Italy, it's the home of worldwide craftsmanship and design, right? When people talk about different things in our industry, Italy is always at the forefront of any conversation. How does Italian engineering actually show up in the way that Battipav designs and manufactures its tiling tools?
We can say that we represent in a full way the Italian design because all the machines that belong to Battipav were designed here, and the production of this kind of machine is here in Italy. So here, if you come to our company and take a look, you can see exactly what does it mean, the design, and what's the idea that belongs from people that come from here. This area is the area of the ceramic in the world, is well known worldwide for this kind of product. And you can see, if you go to our technical office, or you can see to the office of the founder, where the first machine at the beginning and how we develop here inside to make all the machine better and stronger and more practical. I can tell you something. Battipav actually is the only one that produce internally, talking about the sector of the electric machine, obviously, producing internally the pump for the machine. We assemble the motor of all the machine, and we cut and make all the frame. So the design, we represent the design inside all the machine that we have, okay? Because all the part of the machine belong to us, and we exactly know where you need a certain motor, a certain pump, or a certain structure of the machine. This is the most representing thing of the Italian design, because from zero we develop machine that actually have a lot of parts that we produce internally. This make a very big difference and make recognizable the quality of our products, honestly. And the big change for the company was in 98, when we developed the first electric machine, electric saw with a bridge. Okay, as I told you before, at the beginning there were no bridge saw, and
no bridge
from
saws,
98, exactly, from the 98, the company developed the first line of electric machine with bridge saw. This was a big change in the field for us, honestly, and for the tilers, because having the possibility to cut ceramic with high thick, with an electric machine working with water, makes the cut more precise, make the people able to cut different kind of ceramic, especially now where the ceramic are more stronger and harder. Another big change for our company was in 2001, when we had the possibility to do it, because producing motor and pump and structure, we had the possibility to enter in a different sector, that is construction sector, okay? We introduced a machine called Elite 80, and we were the first to introduce aluminum machine in the construction sector. We were the first, honestly. A lot of people can tell you that they were the first, but the design of this machine belonged to us, the first aluminum machine in construction. So when we talk about design and the Italian design, this belonged completely to us, and we were the first. This gives us a possibility to enter even in the construction sector. So nowadays, Battipav work both in ceramic field and in construction sector because we develop our design and we modify our machine based on the meaning that we have. This is also designed for us because we have the possibility to take a machine and use it in a different way based on the request that we receive from the market. So we have a technical internal department here in Battipav where actually 5 people works there every day, working in the developing of the machine and the cutters, and this is what we mean for design. Brain of the people that works here since 40 years. So
yeah, it's like the heartbeat and DNA of the company, right?
Absolutely. DNA. That's the right word. When you ask me about design, Italian design, this is what we mean for Italian design.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about tile cutters for a second, because they're at the heart of what a lot of companies in Europe do, right? What sort of, from your perspective, what separates a high performance professional cutter from an average one, and what should tilers be looking for when choosing a tool?
Honestly, the tiler today, Mark, they want to have products that can give the possibility to make a perfect job in a shortest time. This is what we've seen and what we see and what the market is asking to us, and what we are trying to develop. Frustrating for a tiler could be losing time, could be use instrument that doesn't work, honestly. And so this is the way that we are trying to help them in the introduction of this kind of product. They also want people like good-looking products, because the tiler is not the tiler that there were maybe 40 years ago that arrived with some old instrument and looking like coming from nowhere, okay? Now tilers are well clothed, they are professional, they want machines that are good-looking, because we live in a period of image.
Yes.
So we have also not to take care. Our products, they work really well. They are perfect for cutting, and they are light, and they are made by aluminum and all the stuff, but they are also good looking, because it's something that's really important nowadays, because we have many tilers that they are also, as we can say, influencer.
Oh, massive. Okay? Like if you look at Instagram, right? And look at some of the guys from around the world. They have 40,000, 50,000, 120,000 followers and more.
Exactly. This is why they also want to show products that are fast, quickly. The job is perfect and they are good looking. So this is something that saving time, good looking product, and that they work perfectly. These are the most important thing, actually, I think, for a tiler.
Excellent, mate. The industry has changed a lot over the last 40 years. I know that I've personally been involved in the building and construction and tiling space since the early 2000s. So I'm creeping up to like 23, 24 years. How has Battipav evolved to stay relevant ahead of the curve?
In the last 14 years, a big change in talking about, obviously, what I already said about the developing that we make in the evolution of the cutter electric machine. What we have seen is that it changed a lot the composition of the ceramic. What we can say, okay? Our guide in this here was the production and the fabrication of the ceramic. What we have seen that the people that produce ceramic and work in ceramic field, they are creating ceramic that are always stronger, harder, and bigger. So this is a big change that happened in the last 14 years. And we have to make a modification and to evolve our products following this kind of a sector. For example, the changing from steel to aluminum. This is one of the changing. For example, that now the safety on the job. So we need to have people that are still safe, and the products that they use, they prevent also injuries. So we have also to change the way to transport this kind of product, and everything of this belongs from the constructor of the ceramic. Another big change belongs from the products that come from China. Nowadays, Mark, we are fighting a lot with different companies starting from nowhere. People that are more than 40 years in a business, they suddenly found a company coming from nowhere with very cheaper price affected all the market. Europe is affected from this kind of product. And the different, what we've seen, the changing also in this kind of product coming from China is that at the beginning they were Chinese product. That's it. Now this kind of product are Chinese product, but with design. So there's evolution even in the competitor for this kind of thing, because they are making Chinese product good looking.
Yes.
So it's something that for us, it's we found many copy of our products in Europe, exact copy of our manual cutters. We have no idea where does it come from. We know that come from China, obviously, but it's impossible for us to go and find this kind of people and where the products come from. So this is another big change that in last 40 years affected our market. But for that, Mark, please let me say something that is very important for us, because the people they have to understand what I'm talking about. Because when we're talking about this kind of product, what the people they have to keep in their mind is that the bitterness of poor quality remain along in these people after the sweetness of the low price is forgot. The people, they don't have to forget this kind of thing, because it is affecting our market and it's a problem for us. Fortunately, people still believe in the design and in the evolution of a company that follow the ceramic evolution. So it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. The ceramic is getting, as I said before, hard and stronger and larger. And but we are following it. And in this kind of sector, also you have a big difference between the machines that are professional and not professional. You will see a lot of difference if you work with this kind of equipment.
A quick word from our sponsor. Partner with Gripset and become one of Australia's leading waterproofers. Waterproofing is one of the most in-demand trades. With Gripset's accredited practitioner program, GAP, you'll be trained and certified in just 3 days. Backed by Australia's leading waterproofing supplies manufacturer and run by trainers with over 20 years of experience in the industry, GAP gives you a wealth of knowledge. Learn how to identify and prevent dampness and water damage in both residential and commercial structures by exploring the current Australian waterproofing standards, correct preparation of substrate for waterproofing, and how to apply both sheet and liquid membranes with a particular focus on the trickier areas such as joints and penetrations. Upon completion, you will be a fully accredited GAP applicator and will be able to access exclusive benefits and free business advertising to expand your clientele. Spots are filling up fast. Upskill today, visit gripset.com/gap. That's gripset.com/gap, where great applicators get even better. Tell me two things. One is, this is more of a statement than a question. I think people have to remember you get what you pay for. That is a phrase that has been around for centuries. And I think when you're looking at choosing a product, price generally determines the quality of an item, regardless of what industry you work in. If you want something to last and have amazing support from a brand, generally it comes at a price. If you want something that you can use once and throw in the bin, Sure, that can work. And look, we've seen an example of that here in Australia. I won't go into the details of it, but there's been copies of things being done in the tiling industry in Australia, and they're this nice shiny new thing when they're first launched, and don't worry, everyone gets behind it and has a go, and then they go, oh, that wasn't actually as good as what they made it out to be. I'm going back to the item that I used before. And I want to be very careful with the words that I choose here because there's a few products out there, and I've always seen and had conversations with tiling contractors that have had a go because they've been encouraged to have a go. And I've had another conversation with those same contractors, and they've gone back to the product that they had originally, which was a product like Battipav, if not Battipav, that has a 40-year history, that is made in Europe, that has an excellent brand recognition, that is well supported by local distributors, and that's what they do. So that's that. And I'm picking up on what you said before. You mentioned about the tiles changing, and I saw that firsthand at Chasai last year. But I've been aware of that for a long time. Do the tile companies consult with Battipav and companies like Battipav when they're going to make these changes to ensure that there's actually products out there that can bloody cut these tiles?
Well, they are not actually really consulting us directly because a lot of this ceramic, they also come from Turkey, they also come from India. And so it's really difficult to find where does it begin. But we try to follow. We have many as you can say, people that work in the ceramic that ask us every time for a demo, they come to talk here and to find a solution, because when they want to introduce a new line of ceramic, we used to make a demonstration together, and they come here because we have the possibility, because as I said, and I never stop to say, we produce motor, pump, and the structure of the machine. They used to come here and use us as a tester, because we have the possibility even to modify our machine and to follow their meaning. But honestly, they are not asking before making a changement or something like that, because as I told Mark, this belong even to country where there's no way to be in contact, or you can find, as you have seen in Cersaie, how many producer of ceramic, and we have absolutely no idea where does it come from. There's a lot of people used to work with the 2 centimeter, okay? And the challenge now is to having a manual cutter. They want to cut this 2 centimeter with a manual cutter, okay? And the problem is that many industries produce ceramic of 2 centimeter that are impossible to cut with a manual cutter. We tried in many ways with our products, with competitor products. There's no way. But it's another sector of market that the people, they want to follow. So we are trying to develop this kind of thing, Mark. But my suggestion is to cut with electric machine. Okay. But people want to cut with manual cutter, and we have to develop and to follow this segment. So we are following this, actually.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, I think that I've had some first-hand experience in that space, and I can speak from experience that cutting 2 cms or 20 centimetre porcelain tiles comes with mixed results every time you do it, because, to your point, sometimes the tiles that are coming in from Italy and Spain are baked and fired particularly longer than what we've ever seen before. And that's to obviously build strength and durability in the tile, because they're going onto pedestals. So they're very, very difficult to cut manually. And in some cases, they're actually really difficult to cut with saws, because the blades that have been developed in these machines are used to cutting 10, 15 and mil thick tiles. It's not used to cutting 2 cms all day, every day. So I imagine that there's obviously a lot of development in that diamond space as well to enhance blade technology so that it can actually cut through a lot of those thicker products.
I cannot say anything, Mike. It's perfect. I have to interview you.
No, next time.
Perfectly. This is exactly the point. For the 2 centimeter, this is exactly the point. We find some ceramic. It was even difficult to cut with electric machine, and the people want to cut with manual cutter.
Yeah. Let's talk about large format tiles. We've spoken about the thicker ones. We've got porcelain slabs. Tolerances in tiles are becoming tighter and probably more the norm. Look, how is Battipav adapting to the tools to meet the demands of modern tiling? What sort of things outside of the manual cutter for 2cms is Battipav investigating at the moment?
Well, actually, regarding the large format, this is a big sector of the market now, Mark. It's very huge. The problem is that there is a huge but little market. We are in a niche market, and there are many players on this kind of thing.
Lots of players.
Exactly. A lot of players coming from everywhere, not talking also China, because Europe is full of players, South America, so there's many players. What we are doing is to try to have all the solution for the people that wants to work with large format. So actually we have a complete range, because one of the most important thing is that the people want system. I'm talking about moving the big slabs, system that are easy to use, and they are really fast, practical, and safe. Because if you lose a slabs about 2 meters, 3 meters, it's a big waste of money. It's a big problem for you. And so this is the way that we have to work. We have to guarantee to the people that our system are fast, easy, and that works really well. Talking about that, little digression, Mark. For the people that want to see our product, we develop a YouTube channel that is called How To, and we explain all our products, showing videos and everything to explain to people how our products work. And even putting in all the electric machine or manual cutters a QR code, people in the middle of nowhere, they can have direct access to our instruction manual and video. So this is one thing for where we can explain even the large format. Talking about that, the complete range for a large format now, to be complete, the products has to be a lifter, a system for lifting the big slabs. You need a rail for the cut. You need suction cup. You need machine for making the 45. So it's not easy, but we were able at the beginning, because we were actually, honestly, the last to enter in this kind of market, because it belongs to different country. We have many countries that where the large format is actually zero, completely no popular, and other country that where you have to have all the products. So we develop a complete range now. We are pushing a lot. The products are really competitive in the market, absolutely high quality. And for the large format, this is the thing now. For the 2cm, we listen to people what they want, and talking about the tiler, the solution that we found is to create a manual cutter that works with a stronger carriage. We develop a new line of carriage with 9 ball bearings that at the moment of the breaking, these are really powerful. And this belongs from, it's on my back. This is the machine, as you can see. We work with 9 ball bearings. We call it synthesis. And it's really huge and strong, and it can cut most of the 2 centimeter size. So
yeah,
in Italian design and engineering.
Awesome. Yep. Exactly what we love to hear. Yeah, mate, what sort of role does sort of speed, accuracy and ergonomics play in tool design? And how much does worker fatigue and injury prevention sort of factor into Battipav's development process?
Nowadays, it's very important to take attention to the injuries, okay? Because, if a tiler's make injury to himself, there's no one that can substitute him or his work stop. So exactly. The people ask us to have, I'm not talking about the base of the product, knee pads or something like that. We have it, but it's mandatory to have. And we develop also for this kind of thing a line of very professional things, because when you work on your knee for hours, it's obviously that it can make you a problem. So I think we have materials now that can give us the possibility to make the product safer for all the people that are in the business. What we are also trying to do is making our cutters lighter. Okay, the base of aluminum give you the possibility to make a lighter manual cutter and to give the people the possibility to transport it without injuries and in an easy way. For the most heavy, we have wheels at the end of the machine, so you can transport like a trolley. It's very easy. And for the other, we have a belt that you can put in this way, so it can't hurt your arms or your shoulder or something like that. So it's not a lot of things, but Battipav is a modern company that really work for the safety of the people that are in the market. Okay, because when you work and you don't have problem and the products works really good, it's what we are looking for now. So obviously, even the safety on the job site, there are very restricted rules, and it's very important that we follow this kind of rules. So when we're talking about manual cutter, we make demonstration, we always ask to people to wear glasses, because it can happen that piece of ceramic can during the cut can go everywhere. So gloves and everything. So it's Mark, if you follow the rules, you are safe. Okay, and we give you the instrument to be safe and to do not injure using our instrument.
Yep.
But if you don't follow the rules, that is up to you.
Yeah, a high degree of risk of injury. And to your point, if you're injured, you can't then do your craft, which means there's no income. So all of a sudden, your ability to make any profit has a massive impact on your living, your family, your environment. So it's important. Yeah, they're there for a reason.
Exactly, Mark. I know that the people, for saving time, unfortunately, they not always follow the rules. Okay, I've seen in my life a lot of things that are not right in the job site, but the people told me I have to save time. So what we can do, make instrument always safer to prevent people that they don't follow the rules. This is what we are doing.
Yes, exactly. Well, look, for young tilers and apprentices building their kit, and by that I refer to sort of a tiling toolkit, what tools do you believe are absolute non-negotiables if they want to work professionally and in a profitable fashion?
That's a good question, Mark, because for my point of view, I can give you my point of view, but for maybe I am on the market, but maybe there are some tricks that I don't know that belongs to every tiler, But from my point of view, the most important thing is, first thing, manual cutter, obviously. You can choose a standard size, or maybe if you are a professional, normally belonging on the work that you have to do, you can choose to have a couple of this, like, for example, small one or bigger one. I also suggest to have electric machine for cutting, because you don't know which kind of ceramic you have to put, and the client want maybe. So it's mandatory for me to have also an electric machine, and not because I'm producing it, obviously, but it's it's something that can complete the range of the tilers. And obviously, you need to have all the instruments for a tiler. Talking about leveling system, talking about trowel, mallet, good knee pads, I think. And you need to have sponge and tray and all the stuff that belong to a tiler, obviously. There are little things. The biggest thing that we are talking about, manual cutter and electric machine. The others are products that belongs to everyone. You know, how many sponge you can have, how many tray, how many, depends from how big is your business. Another suggestion could be to have a small table. You know, we produce aluminum small table that are really practical, especially when you are working 1 meter for 1 meter, and especially really practical when you are working in a bathroom or in a kitchen. You don't have a lot of space. You come with this small bag. You can mount your table. You can make a hole in the ceramic. You can make a cut. So this is, for me, it's very... And you don't have also to need work on your knees.
Yes.
So this is what I think it's mandatory to have for a young tiler or someone that starts now in the business.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, mate, look, let's, as we get towards the conclusion of our chat today, and it's been amazing. Thank you for sharing as much as you have, Jacopo. It's incredible. Look, talking about accessibility, so post, people listening to the podcast episode and getting really curious about Battipav and wanting to try the products, how do contractors, retail shop owners, distributors get access to the range of Battipav products here in Australia?
In Australia, we work through a dealer. I don't know if can I say the name or not.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
DTA company.
That's DTA, DTA Australia.
We work in this kind of company, and especially for the electric machine. The people can go through this company for what concerning the electric machine, and for the manual cutters, they can contact Battipav, or can contact us at sales@battipav.com, or in our website. There's direct access to our products. The one thing, Mark, that I would like to say, it's
please, yeah.
The most difficult thing for us in the manual cutter is that the loyalty of the tilers to certain brands. Okay, I mean that the people belong to a brand. It's very difficult for them to change their mentality. Okay, the big challenge for us nowadays is to enter in the mind to the people and explain that they have high quality, top quality product, less price, but that they do the job perfectly and in the same way. I know, Mark, it's really hard for someone to change the idea, and when maybe your father used to work with this kind of products, or your grandfather worked with this kind of product. Even me, Mark, if I'm using iPhone, okay, my brother is using Samsung, and he's trying to convince me that Samsung is better. But actually, I don't want to change, and I don't want to try. But it's something that is in my mind, because maybe Samsung is better. So this is the big challenge that sorry for that, but this is a big challenge that we have to fight now in the Australian, especially in the Australian market, because the Australian market is a really loyal market.
Yes. Look, I completely agree. I think market penetration and stealing market from competitors, which is completely healthy because it happens in every marketplace, is a really interesting topic. I remember having a conversation with someone months and possibly years ago, and we were talking about Apple versus Samsung, and we were discussing the brand recognition and relevance of those products in comparison to things like when Nokia had their phones when they were around, and how over time things have changed and evolved. And one of the things that stood out in this conversation from me is, and I'm not sure if you've ever done this, but if you go to a Apple store any given day of the week and you watch the store before it opens, and you watch people queue and line up and come from everywhere to go into the Apple store to have that experience, whatever it might be, to do whatever they need to do, and then do the exact same thing and go to the Samsung stores, the retail stores, there's a remarkable difference. Like, there will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people. In some instances, I've seen nearly 100 people line up at some of these Apple shops before it opens to get in. You go to the Samsung store, there'll be 5 people.
And they actually do the same product.
Yeah, it's just got a different name on it, but they do the exact same thing, and they just function a little bit differently. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And in manual cutter, Mark, trust me, it's even worse than this.
Yes.
It's really hard market for manual cutter, honestly. But we making demo, explaining the people, it take a lot of time to us. But we finally have some results. But Australia is far country, so it's not so easy. Not so easy.
Yeah, and the other thing too, not to downplay the importance of Australia whatsoever, but I remember a conversation I had with someone about 5 or 6 years ago. Australia is less than 5% of the global market when it comes to anything, whether it's tiling tools, whether it's tiles, and you know, we import into this country, according to the statistics, roughly on average about 36 million square metres of tiles a year, and that number has been pretty consistent for the last decade. However, as big as that number is, we're still less than 5% of the global output of a lot of the brands that come here, because we're a small country. We're the young country. We've only been around for a couple of 100 years. Our population is only at around 25.5, 26 million, compared to, you know, countries that have got 80, 100, 300 million, a billion. We are far away from where all of the action's happening in Europe, the Middle East, America, South America, North America.
It's for us, it's a long journey. I remember when I met you in Australia, it was amazing for me. I like the country. I really love the country. I have many friends that lives there, even from Italy. And this is why I'm trying also to develop, because I like really much to come to Australia, but it's really far, really, really far.
It is. It took me 22 hours last year to travel from Brisbane to Bologna in Italy, and I only had a 2-hour stopover in Qatar before the second leg of the journey. But that 14.5-hour flight from Qatar to Italy is it's a killer. It's a long journey.
It's a long journey, but I like to come, and you like to come also to Italy. So
yeah, absolutely.
It makes sense to make the journey.
Yeah, I agree. Well, look. As we wrap up today, looking ahead, what excites you most about the future of tiling tools, and what can the industry expect next from Battipav?
It's honestly developing always new products. Actually, it's not easy, because I think we are on the top range, okay, of the product for the tilers. Okay, there's nothing actually really new that comes out from the market. All the things that we are doing is to trying to develop the things that we have. I don't know if it's not is it or is not time now for a big changing in the sector, but this belongs to something that is in the mind of the people or in an invention of some company. Okay, nowadays with the line that the company Battipav or competitors they have, we are complete in all of the sector of the ceramic. So it's really hard to invent something that can make the difference nowadays. So we used to have, we are developing new machine, okay, but it's something that already exists. It's not a changing that happens for us in the 90s, for example, when with the introduction of the aluminium or this kind of stuff, when the introducing of the bridge saw for a manual cutter. So it's really hard. What we are doing now, Mark, even following the evolution of our product, is to try to create a net of working on the visibility of the product. Okay, this is the big challenge now. We are creating a net of ambassador worldwide, where we choose one or two, maybe depends from the company if they work only in tile sector or even in construction, where they take our brand and promote it in their country in all of the points. Okay, this is where we are working now, to creating an image of the brand with the fidelization of the people. Okay, we take companies in all of the country, and they are Battipav in this kind of country. This is the evolution now in the sector. There's nothing incredible to invent for a tiler, actually. Where we have to work now is in the mind of the people, to explain that we have great products, Italian-made, that are still working, even if they are not in a different color.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate everything that you've shared. I'm hopeful that this episode will resonate beautifully with our community, and people will have a firmer understanding of who Battipav is, especially considering that the company's been around for 40 plus years and they have a pedigree in developing tiling tools and accessories. Thank you again for joining the show. Until next time, stay connected, and I can't wait to personally catch up with you, hopefully again later in the year. No trips are planned at this stage. However, I'm sure if you're in Australia at some point when a new when you're ready to sell, a ton of manual tile cutters, that a trip to Australia will be earned, and you'll need to visit.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you for everything, the time that you give me, and the possibility to explain to the people who we are and how we work. Thank you very much. It's a big pleasure for me. Whenever you want, I'm available for everything.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Tiling Connect. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast. To see more of Tiling Connect, jump on our socials and follow us via LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. If you'd like to be part of the show, email us at tilingconnect@gmail.com. Until next time, stay connected.